Hi there, this is Miss Samantha. This video is for current 7th graders and their guardians that will be 8th graders in the fall of 2024. So we are going to go through this scheduling worksheet together, go over a few key details, and then I'll walk you through how to submit your class requests. Now, first of all, you'll have this card in front of you. Mine's electronic, so it's white, but yours in front of you will be green. First thing to note, it's already highlighted, but go ahead and draw a star, a smiley face, whatever you need to do. This is due February 16th. So go ahead and look at today's date. It's not very far away, is it? No. Okay, but it's due online February 16th. So first, let's go over this part. So these are your required classes, your core classes, classes that every single 8th grader will be taking unless, you have an IEP or you make adjustments. So we've got on-level ELA, on-level math, science, and US history, as well as 1 semester of digital literacy and 1 semester of PE. Now, there is an option for physical education requirement that will be new this year. I'll get into that in just a bit. Down here, just like last year, we have the option as well to elect an ELA honors or a math honors class. Here are those recommended scores for the RI and MI. Go ahead and compare your own scores to these scores, or you can discuss it with your teacher or your guardian. You don't have to meet or exceed these scores in order to choose an honors class. It's just recommended. If you're up for the challenge, then you can select honors. Down here are your elective choices. Now, since you're going to be in 8th grade, you have the most options that you've ever had before. It's really exciting. Let's take it all together. So first of all, just like last year, we're going to ask you to rank your top 10 elective choices, just in case your top choices end up not being available for some reason. You cannot repeat semester classes taken in previous years. So for example, if I've already taken Art 1, I cannot take Art 1. We want you to move on. We want you to take Art 2, okay? Choir and band classes are the exception. Those can be repeated. It's recommended that students take classes in multiple categories, so you're trying different things. Class offerings are subject to change at any time, and class descriptions are on the back of your card. Now, class offerings are subject to change at any time because it's based on how many students end up requesting these classes, if we have the staffing to support these classes, things like that. So again, that's why we have you rank your top 10. Go ahead and take your time looking through these classes. This should look very familiar to you from last year. Special for 8th graders, we've got Art 3, we've got Ceramics, Dance 3, French 2, Spanish 2. So keep taking a look through here. But brand new to us for next year, we have these 2 classes. So we've got Strength and Conditioning Physical Education class. That will be a semester. Now, for those of us who really love to move our bodies, maybe you've wished in the past that you could have PE all year long because you really love that break and getting to move during the day. Now it's possible. So go ahead and rank strength and conditioning in your top 5, especially so we know that you really want to take that class if you're interested. The next one that is brand new to our school will be Latinos in Action. So this will be a full year class. It's very service-based, very community building based, and you don't have to identify with any certain community in order to sign up for that class. Any student is welcome to rank that. Special to 8th graders, we've got student aid and peer tutor opportunities. So we need you to have no D's and F's in your academics and also no N's or U's in citizenship. You can rank these in your top 10, but you also need to submit an application online. If you rank it and you don't submit the application, we just kind of have to toss that and go on to your next selection. So make sure you complete that. DLI, here's what you'll be up to next year. Intervention classes, just a reminder that reading and math lab classes are assigned to students whose winter RI and MI scores this year indicate that they need some help to get up to being proficient. So these full year classes are assigned to those students. They replace an elective, and a letter is sent home to guardians to notify them if this is an intervention class is assigned to you, and they have the option at that point to opt you out. After school, we still have that STEM chemistry lab. That's not available for ranking. It's just kind of an FYI. And then when I'm ready, I've looked through all my choices. I've decided on my rankings. My guardian and I are on the same page. I can complete my course requests here at this link, or I can scan this QR code with a tiny little dino in the middle, which I'm obsessed with. Step 3, let's read this together because this is really, really important. So step 3, review the following statement and then submit your class requests online. My student and I have reviewed their class selections and understand. So by my student and I, it means the student and their guardian, right? So first, students are expected to stay in their selected classes for the duration of the year or semester. Schedule change requests are not permitted for any electives within your top 5 choices, as student requests influence staffing and class offering decisions. More on that later. Schedule change requests are not permitted for preference of team, teacher, class order, lunch period, or matching schedules with other students. And lastly, opt-out requests will be taken into consideration when building your schedule, but are not guaranteed. Flipping the card over, here's all your course descriptions. Really take your time and go through, especially if you're interested in, this new class, Latinos in Action or Strength and Conditioning. Take a look at all of those course descriptions. When you are ready, you can type in or click on that link or scan the QR code, and it will bring you here to this Google form. And this is where you're going to submit your course requests by February 16th. Please complete the following form to request your students' classes for 8th grade at Indian Hills Middle School. Please enter your parent or guardian's email address below. A copy of your course requests will be emailed to this address. So basically that's saying, hey, do this with your guardian. Do not do this by yourself. We need your guardian to know exactly what classes you're signing up for or requesting. We need you to be on the same page, right? And also it's going to send a receipt of all of your answers to whichever email address you enter. So I'm entering my email address. The receipt will be sent here. Next, put in your first name and your last name. Now, friends, if you go by something different than what is in Skyward, that is totally okay, and we always support you in that. However, we need to be able to find you, okay? We need to be able to find you in Skyward so we can put in your requests. If we can't find you, oh my gosh, it's not great. So, for example, if my name in Skyward is Samantha, but I go by maybe my middle name or a preferred name, that's totally okay. You can include that too. Just make sure whatever's in Skyward is included in your Google form so we can find you. And then your last name, date of birth, boop-a-doop. If you know your student ID number, great. It should be the same as your lunch number. And if you don't know it, that's okay too. As long as we can find you, that is what we're after. Okay, and then parent or guardian writes their name as a signature. So by submitting my name, I acknowledge that I have reviewed and approved this registration information with my student. This Google form, the class registration, is not for you to complete by yourself. You need to do this with a guardian or at minimum with your school counselor, okay? So I'm going to put in my mommy's name as if we are doing it together. Next, please check below if your student currently has an IEP or 504 accommodation in place. So if you have no idea what that means, you probably don't have this, okay? If I have an IEP, I'll check this box. If I have a 504, I'll check this box. And if I don't have either one of those things, then I'm going to leave it blank. Last on this section, if your student is new to Indian Hills, please list your current school so that we can request records. Now, if you're sitting in class at Indian Hills, you already go here, so we don't need that information, just leave it blank. All right, we're getting into the nitty-gritty. All 8th grade students will be enrolled in the following classes unless you request a change below. So you will automatically be enrolled in these classes unless we request a change. So we've got on-level ELA, on-level math, science, US history, traditional PE class, and digital literacy. That totals 5 credits. For more information about opting out or replacing a required class, you can visit this website. Again, the guardian needs to visit the website and follow any steps that are needed. Deadline to opt out or replace a required class is what? February 16th. It's the same deadline as the course requests are due. And that's for staffing purposes. We need to know what students are planning to take or not take so we know who will be hired or things like that. So this is a reminder about the math lab and intervention classes, reading, I mean. Okay, so if I'm interested in honors ELA and or honors math, here is where I indicate that. So please check one or both boxes to request an honors class. If I want to take honors ELA, I would check this box. Honors math, both, one or the other, or neither. And then if I'm in the DLI program, I will check this little thing. And if I'm not, then I'll leave it blank. So I'm going to click next. All right, elective classes. This is super important that you listen and you follow these directions, please. So I'll read this top part for us. Important, your school counselors and admin use these elective rankings to make school-wide class offering decisions, staffing decisions, and build individual student schedules. For these reasons, there will be absolutely no schedule changes for elective classes in your top 5. We want you to take classes that you're interested in. We want you to get your top 1, 2, 3, 4 classes. And we work so hard for many months to make sure that that happens for, it's like 98% of students. I mean, we work really hard to make that happen. So if you request a class that's in your top 5 and then it's put into your schedule and you email Miss Samantha in August and say, I don't really vibe with guitar anymore and I want to change it, even though I ranked it as my number 2, the answer is going to be no, friends. So really take your time, make sure you request classes that you are interested in, not your friends, right? Even if all 10 of my close besties and we all request maybe Art 2, thinking we're all going to get it together. Well, Art 2 is offered at 6 times a day, 2 different semesters. There's no guarantee we'll have that class together. So make sure you're choosing classes for you. Next, involvement in programs like DLI, honors, or special education will take first priority when building your schedule, with your ranked elective choices taking second priority. Please carefully rank your elective preferences from 1 to 10, with number 1 being your top choice. If you either accidentally or purposefully choose duplicate classes or classes you've already taken, your school counselor will choose your electives for you. So if you do that, you're basically forfeiting one of your options, and we don't want that. So make sure that you really pay attention and take your time. If you misplace your course request worksheet, you can find this online here. And then if you're ranking student aid and or peer tutor in your top 10, here is a link for that application. Again, if you don't fill out the application, but you rank them, we just have to toss it and go on to the next choice. So we don't want that. Make sure you complete whatever you need to do. All right, scanning through here, you can see that I have 10 elective choices to fill in. And each one is a drop-down menu that has every single class available for electives for 8th graders. Okay, so number 1 is my top choice. It's the one that I absolutely want the most in the whole wide world. let's say that debate 2 is my top choice. I absolutely want this class. Right here, prereq debate 1, that's short for prerequisite, meaning in order to be eligible or in order to select debate 2, be in debate 2, I need to have taken debate 1. Okay, so there are several classes you can see. It can't take Spanish 2 without having taken Spanish 1 already, art classes, dance classes, things like that. Just make sure you're paying attention to those. Because again, if I select debate 2, but I haven't taken debate 1 yet, that puts my school counselors in a tricky position. So, all right, I'm going to click through rather quickly, just so you don't have to watch me ponder. But this is something that you are going to be very, very careful about, and make sure that you are choosing the classes that are right for you, that you're most interested in. Okay. Now, so I took my time, of course, that was a speed run. I'm gonna go through and make sure that A, I don't have any duplicates, and B, I didn't misclick anything, right? So yes, I can confirm that debate 2 is my #1 elective choice. Going through. Uh-oh. Okay, so I can see by reviewing my choices that I clicked coding and robotics for both my #2 and my #5. Well, let's make sure that I don't have that, right? Every single choice needs to be different so my school counselors can build me the best schedule possible. So maybe I went, oops, I meant to click exploring business and marketing, right? So I'm going to keep going through, make sure every single choice is different. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Alrighty. Next, is your student under 410 and or needs a bottom locker for any reason? Yes or no? And then lastly, I'm going to review the following. So by signing my name below, I am confirming the following. I have carefully reviewed my elective rankings and confirmed they accurately reflect my choices. Yes, I went through, I made doubly sure. Yes, I confirm. Next, I have checked my elective requests for duplicates. I understand that submitting duplicate requests will result in my school counselor choosing my elective. Yes, I did that. Wonderful. I understand that requests for schedule changes for electives in my top 5 will be denied. Yes, I solemnly swear that I will not email Miss Samantha or my school counselor in August requesting a schedule change for electives in my top 5. And then lastly, I understand that my school counselors will build student schedules based on school-wide class offerings, which are subject to change at any time. And again, that could be for a lot of different reasons. Maybe not many students requested a class, so we have to drop it off the schedule. Maybe teachers changed, maybe, there's so many different reasons why that could happen. So, okay, yes, I confirm. I'm going to sign it, and then click submit. And just a reminder that that sends me a receipt of all of my answers so I can check what I put in and make any changes if I need to by emailing my school counselor. All right, thanks for listening. We will be in just a moment to answer any questions.